Hello YouTubers, it's Travis. I have something a little different for you today. We're doing a cube draft on MTG Arena. Cube is not my favorite format and not really something I do a whole lot of, although I'll do one or two whenever there's a cube coming out. In this case, we've recently had the Decathlon events on MTG Arena, and the Decathlon finals are a cube draft, which I will be streaming and recording, so don't worry, you'll be seeing it right here on the YouTube. But this was a practice event I did for those Decathlon finals. And as you'll hear, I kind of had a strategy going into this cube draft that I was going to use. So if you enjoy cube, let me know in the comments. Perhaps we can do some more next time some are out. And as always, if you like what you see, do consider clicking that subscribe button. Thank you and enjoy the draft. What have we got here?
I took December off from everything. Glad to see you again.
Glad to see you again, DJ. Thank you very much for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for DJ. And good afternoon, Cousin Stompy. It's good to see you. My default is to still try to go for very aggressive things in Cube if I can, especially if we're looking to win a tournament. I have to imagine there's a solid aggro deck in both white and red. Which leads me to be thinking about Rekindling Phoenix versus Throbbing Inspector here, and not really much else. There's a lot of cool, expensive stuff you could do to win a game, but like, you could probably pull that off anyway. I explored Mono Red a bit yesterday. That has me somewhat interested in checking out White today. So let's do that. Shepherd of the Flock could go interestingly there. Sadly, there's a Rampaging Ferocidon here. So it may be that if I'm wanting to get into aggro, I try to go this way. Like, I do need a reason to be in one of the two colors, right? And I'm happy to explore cubes and do complicated, you know, herpaderpy things. If we're incentivized to win, though, like, we should be going for a particular strategy. Ferocidon's so good and cuts off so many decks. But we want to explore white today and how forcible this is. Ignore all the construction signs and fire hazards, and arena's likely like a casino. Not really like a casino. So see, here's the thing. Arena is the most complicated and most expensive digital card game you could be playing. And if I was in charge of the marketing team, I'm pretty sure I could convince everybody that that's a good thing. Right? But no one has convinced me that it's a good thing. Convince me that it's a good thing and we can talk. Somebody got nerfed. Holy carp, that card was a lot better. But it's still what we want here, pretty obviously. Because I think this is more of an engine than a Dauntless Bodyguard. But the idea would be that you could sell, you know, your game as, we're the premier card game, so of course we're going to cost more. We're more complex, and you know, it requires much more skill for our game, right? I could sell that. Of course, I could sell stuff to a stuff machine. All right, I probably have to stop at this point and just take Anax and accept that if we're going to do aggressive stuff, it's going to be red, because I'm just not getting past stuff for white. Although Shelter could still potentially do it, right? Yeah, I still want to really try to be on an aggro plan unless I get knocked way off of it. Okay, and Oketra's Monument in mono white seems pretty absurd. So does Bosri's Lieutenant, and so does Cave of the Frost Dragon. But like, now I have acquired the reason that I needed to have to be doing what I was doing. I think we take Faithful Absence. I don't particularly care if they get to investigate. I just want them dead. Rakdos isn't really an aggro deck in this format from what I can tell. It's a combo deck based around like sacrificing things, which is fine. It's just not as good as an aggressive strategy. If you're looking to win a tournament, like you can have a debate about whether you should have cube tournaments or not. Don't want the Alcid. I don't want the Cold Steel Heart. This can still force through some damage. I'm going to need like an Anthem or something. I'll still go with it. I think white aggro is going to play more 1-drops than red aggro, which is interesting. Just play that as a land, that's fine. Well, we had a pretty good run yesterday with the mono red deck. Like, I'd be very happy to go for something like that. Morning, Andy. That's just ridiculous.
Some Dutch, D.
Magmalov. Thank you very much for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Magmalov. There's still a possibility we just move in on red. I have no idea, Cousin Stompy. I'm sorry to hear that, Andy. I hope that you both recover quickly. One could argue that if she's married to you, she lost her sense of taste many, many years ago. I tease because I like Andy. I do seriously hope that both of you recover quickly. I've played too many video games with Andy not to be able to make that joke. And I think Andy knows that I respect him and consider him a stand-up, fantastical dude. Are we using this? Yeah, I am. We're not looking to splash red. We might have a splash of white, or a splash of blue, rather. And we might just play that as a tap land. Oh, that's a nice wheel. It's real good. Mono red was open too. I think people are actively avoiding aggro decks in the cube, which is, I mean, just something for us to capitalize on if we're trying to win a tournament. It really doesn't seem to, like, there's no aggro white card here. That really sucks. Like, that's kind of like, I'm going to try to kill you this turn. I mean, they do DJ. It is a microtransaction video game. Play what you want to play, but understand they want your money, right? I don't think I'm even playing the Unbreakable formation. I'm going to take the Crossroads just in case we want to splash something. Like, there just wasn't a good white card there, so I'm not going to beat myself up about it. There's lightning bolts and such. I think I am pretty happy with Redain, right? Like, it's a little bit of disruption. This deck would play like a Talia, for example. And we should probably have some 3-drops in it. But it is starting to look incredibly aggressive. I think these two are speculative. The rest of this is just in the deck. Yeah, I suspect it'll be a little bit different perspective tomorrow, but I'm certainly interested in checking it out. Ranger of Eos is mostly 4 mana, draw 2 cards. I'm down with that. This is bad, right? Yeah, not for us. But Ranger of Eos is always going to be a good thing. I would like, I don't know, a removal spell or two. But it doesn't look like I'm really going to get that in white. really what I'm looking for, although it's weird to see unearth effects in Arena. I mean, Thragtusk was great. This does lock up a free blue splash if we want one to finish things. Yeah, I noted that it got nerfed when we select it. Yeah, I guess I'll just take this and be ready to splash anything we see good from blue. Red was the way, though. What do you do? Use your control with flying, get +1/+1. So this is a Sarah Angel. Okay, I can still play that. I'm guessing the white, like, interaction is getting gobbled up by some other, like, control players or whatever. Dies, I get a card. What? It's got a lot of things I could be interested in. Like, there's also this Valorous stance that I can just take. Good evening, Tommy. I'm going to take the Valorous stance and see if that or this wheels and be happy with it, unless this does something amazing. That's a 3-mana 2/2. Okay, I don't want that. Well, it's a 4-mana 4/4 flyer that doesn't trigger our Aketra's Monument, but that's fine.
You like cube? Me like cube. Cube is good. Cube 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 cube.
I don't think we need a 2-mana 2/2 right now. I need, like, literally any way to interact with my opponent. We have a Fateful Absence and a Valorous Stance, and that's our interaction. Thank you for the resub, Martin. Tier 2 for 89 months. Y'all spam some Martys for Marty. Here's another pack that really stinks for us if we're trying to go mono white. I'm gonna grab the Vantage. We may end up splashing the Ferocidon. Right. All of this is pretty good for us, as would be the Bone Splitter. The Vampire's a little bit of card advantage, I guess, which is neat. Glossary's like hyper aggro token pieces, which I dig too. I think I like the Vampire, but like I don't think it'd be crazy to take any of those other cards. The Unbreakable Formation Wield, which was the only white card in that pack, which is, I think, kind of neat for us. The world where we splash that. And I've got the Vantage already and the Crossroads. Isamaru Wield, which was the only white card in that pack, and we've already got a Ranger to fetch it. Skyclave is interaction. Skyclave what? Skyclave Cleric? Afternoon, Brownie. Hey. If we were splashing Heroic Reinforcements, would be nice. Skyclave Apparition sucks. I don't like the guard. Like, the thing with this is, all of the cards are good. They're all just good. You don't have to play bad ones. That's the thing about Skyclave Apparitions. You can play as many basic lands as you want in your deck. It's fine. I think I'm pretty happy splashing for the reinforcements in the Lightning Helix. Obviously, I kid a bit there. I don't care. I don't like the card, but like, it's cube. They're all good cards. You can play whatever you want. Heliod's pretty good, right? Maul would be pretty good for this deck too. I need to have like some life gain crap going for that. I think I actually do like the Maul, which is good because I took too long ranting. I actually pick a card there. Luris is interesting. I don't think we're companioning him, but I'll play him for sure. Like, we've got a bunch of junk down here. Seems like a pretty easy pickup. Adenta Vanguard is just a solid early attacker. I like that. Yeah, takedown's the land / removal spell, but we're kind of getting okay on those now, right? Like, I've got Valorous Stance, Fateful Absence, Lightning Helix. I probably don't end up playing this realistically, but we'll see. I could. But Vanguard I like quite a bit. That feels like just a bad heroic reinforcements. Ephemerate blinks your own thing, right? I don't think I'd want to do that. Bone Crusher Giant's very nice if we're going to go heavier on the red. But I think I'd rather just take this and be like, okay, we've got 3 red sources. I can play a mountain. We're definitely splashing the reinforcements in the Helix. I mean, Mikey's just bananas. I think I'd play the Dollhouse here too. That's a solid cardboard. A solid sideboard card. But I wonder how much you'll be interested in something like that if you're playing a very aggressive deck. Because like breaking up somebody's like enchantment garbage is like, if they've got enough stuff going for that to be good for me, I probably lost a few turns later. Right? Like, the situation that would make a card like that good in an aggressive shell is when I've already lost the game, and I don't think it does enough that it would change things from that losing position to a winning one. Like, this deck can't get behind. Like, it just can't. If it ever gets behind, we've already lost. Like a Charming Prince. It's not really amazing. I can't think of anything I'd really want to flicker other than the Ranger, potentially. Like, a lot of the deck I can't flicker. Like, it's fine. Well, Cube is a special situation, right? Like, Magic has certainly changed. I do think we want Talia. I think I'm pretty happy with her here. I think I like her better than the Angels. Like, I don't want top end. But Cube Draft doesn't count as, like, draft. It's a very different animal. Sure, there's our other anthem. We're good to go now. Perfect. I would play one more, like, red duel happily. I'm not looking to maximize Luris. I'm just looking to put Luris in the deck, right? Luxodon came back. That's fantastic. I think I'm higher on that than I am either of these. But I think that's the deck, right? More or less. Okay, cool. Free land slot. I'm not playing any of that. Have that to like bring in. I was thinking we might play it, but I think after looking through it, we probably won't. We'll get some truck sauce. So white aggro's there enforceable. Like, at least lightly forceable. So it's doing the Zendikar thing where it messes up your land count, right? Because we're counting this as a land, and we're counting that as a land. And I probably want to play 16. That means we'd actually have one cut, because this is 14, 15, 16. With 17 creatures. I don't obviously want a companion for us. This is like everything, right? Each permanent. Yeah, I don't want that. I want to play with the Ranger and the Loxodon. Shelter's just a great way to like finish somebody. I don't think we cut Shelter. One could argue that the Prince may not be doing enough. Cut one tap land? Why would you cut a tap land? This is not a creature in our deck. This deck currently is running 14 lands. This is land number 15. No, we can't Companion Lurrus. The only tap lands are not taking up land slots, right? Like we've got a Cabria Takedown and a Skycleave Cleric. No way I'm cutting those. You're suggesting cutting this and playing another other land? I think that's insane. This deck tops out at 4. And we get to cheat. Like straight up cheat and play 14 lands. We get all of the benefits of playing 14 lands and all of the benefits of playing 16 lands because of the Skycleave Cleric. I'm pretty sure that we could cut literally any card that's not the Skyclave Cleric and the deck would be better. Yeah, but think about how many turn one, like once we sort this out, realistically, I'm probably playing 1 mountain and 8 island, 9 plains, right? So this will come into play untapped. Here's 9, that's 10. This will come into play tapped, that's 11. And in half of the battles, this will come into play untapped, that's 12. Like we've got 12 1-drops. Or 12 untapped white sources on turn 1 for 4 1-drops. Which I think is plenty. I'm, yeah, very, very happy with that. All right, so Vanguard's good at attacking. This buffs us. I want to keep the 1-drop so that we can draw them with Ranger of Eos. I like the Welcoming Vampire, Redain, and Lurrus. That's a 3-1. This is disruptive. This is an Anthem and like a flexible bazillion drop. I think it's the Prince. This just doesn't really do anything here. I mean, the upside's insane. Like, how do aggro decks lose? Aggro decks lose because they flood out. These lands for aggro decks mean we don't flood out as often. It's not like a 2-mana 1/3 is amazing in the late game either, but with Anthems and Heroic Reinforcements, triggering Oketra's Monuments, it's another body for our equipments. Like, all of a sudden, these really start to add up. The Alseid's another 1-drop, and it's fetchable with the Ranger. You know what? That's actually a good case for taking out Shelter. Because the Alseid is a copy of Shelter that I can go fetch. Right? So that, I think, takes us actually full circle. And makes us cut the Shelter. The Aspirant triggers at the end of your turn instead of before combat. That was a nerf. It's still fine. Like, it used to trigger on combat, now it triggers after it. Like, it's still a very good card. But anyway, I think that got us to the right call. So who said Shelter in the beginning? I'm going to go back and look. Goose, you win a pumpkin. You win a pumpkin. I think that was the right call. What are good sleeves for a cube draft? Any suggestions here? I guess you're going to try to fake people out in a cube draft. So maybe we just want to intimidate them with our Mythic Championship Qualifier 2019. Like that. USA flag's always good. Fair enough. Everyone go look at my new dog. Where can I look at your new dog? Did you put it in Discord? Oh, that is a cute popper. What a cute popper. Okay, everyone, seriously, everyone go look at his new dog. It's good. All right, I like this. We're gonna run this. Your life total is a resource, so don't be afraid to spend it. Looks like about the start you'd want for this deck, eh? Work, work! I think that's what they're trying to say, yeah. I think Cube is the most fun event on Arena. You could draft Crimson Vow. It's kind of like a 1.5 for 1, but I'll take it. Phoenix of Ash to block, you say. I like that plan. I like that plan a lot. I would definitely say enjoy what you enjoy. I like Crimson Vow a lot. Behold, the multiverse. Do elaborate. I'm happiest with these two for now. Crimson Vow in this context, Michael. Yeah, we got some good options for the Ranger, which I dig. Not quite enough to kill him. It's enough to put him dead to a top decked red source, which is interesting. The problem is I'm just dead to this getting pumped next turn, right? No, not really. I think I like 3-ing them here. Makes a top decked red source lethal. And I've got 2 looks at 1. He said, if you were name, I understand you might have navigated a different path during this draft that led you to thinking that pick is good for this deck. Okay. I guess I am dead to them just hitting another land drop. Okay, I didn't quite think about that. Or no, I was just dead the whole time and didn't know it. Okay. For whatever reason, I looked at that and my brain was like, they don't have enough to pump it twice. I think I'm just to the point where I'm going to start ignoring the bold statements. Like, if someone wants to come in and say, I would play the game differently than you. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I think the line would have been dig with the clue, actually. Yeah, I don't think the Phoenix was for blocking. I think I got, like, sidetracked paying attention to chat, which I'm not going to be doing during the tournament, obviously. But, like, I was confused why they brought it back and didn't attack with it, and it made sense. It's just lethal the following turn. Well, I'll get sort of stuck in my head with this idea that, like, I need to argue and change people's minds. And of the things to argue and change people's minds about, being good at Magic isn't one of them. Like, if you can learn from me, that's cool. If you think you've got a better line, that's cool too. Maybe you do. Nobody 1-1-1-1. I understand how you might have navigated a different path during the gameplay that led you to thinking that was a good decision. Sorry, that was just too easy an opportunity. I think you actually might have been right, nobody. That seems a lot better. And I also, like, I wonder if there was actually a way out in that last draft for me, but...
C? Yes, Reaver C.
They've got Borat, the perfect pet. Do I care if they kill it if I'm just slamming a Ranger of Eos next? Like, what are their blocks? They trade here? I don't even know what they're planning on blocking with that. But we're still going to connect with 3. I have another 3-2 on the board. I think I'm fine to just let them block it. I don't know why they didn't attack with Borat. I kind of just want to spam the board with cheap units, but it's so easy to, like, just take Mikey and the Al Sayed. Hello, Henning. Because if we need to Helix, I can do that with the Al Sayed, and if we don't, I can just play Mikey and the Al Sayed. How many cups of hot cocoa have you had? I think I'm pretty content to Helix that now. Just one, but it was a big cup. It's a tough decision. I'm gonna have to block this if I play it. What happens if I play the adversary, kick it, and attack with both of these? It's bloody terrifying if they actually have a removal spell. I think I'm going to try to play safe here and make a Sarah token. I think that's the line I want to go with. It gets a little wrecked by a counterspell, but everything else is kind of fine. Okay. I can't block any of my ground stuff. Then, so we could do 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not quite enough. But it is a lot. That seems like a good realization, DJ. I approve. I approve of this decision. That was wise. That was very wise. In the game, I think we're winning this match, and then we're going to try to win round 3. If that's what you meant, Henning. If you mean in general, it's good to be Travis. I'm a happy boy. guess that's a counter spell. Is what they're selling? Well, that's a bit of a shame. I was using that. Robbing Inspector for the win. I think this is basically fine. I just need to pay attention to the games. Cube can get complicated. Yeah. It's kind of cute how that worked out, eh? Sir, thank you for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for sir. Thank you. Bork, bork. I don't have an attack. This sucks. I need that third land. It's pretty awesome, DJ. If he's having fun, that's pretty cool. I want the ranger right now. I don't really want the tap land either. But we take it. Bless you, little pupper. Well, we'll get to the red source eventually. Not in a rush. So I have to click scry 1 if I want to scry first. That seems pretty dumb. I don't much care for that. Yeah, it would have. It's a good thing they didn't notice. I forgot about it too. I was thinking, like, there's no point holding this up because, like, we're going to spend almost the entirety of the game tapping out from here. And this doesn't really change it because that needs to die now. I think I'm more or less happy getting rid of the Pyromancer. Yeah, cube's complicated. Gonna make mistakes, I guess. Because, yeah, the counters would have gotten me there. But I don't think they realized they were chump blocking there either. Sometimes you make a mistake and your opponent responds with another one. This kind of felt to me like what happened there. It's a very mean thing to say, Sayonara. We're not going to say anything like that in my chat. This is a complicated game, and we're not going to shame anybody for not being great at it, because I make mistakes. If you don't make any mistakes, by all means, continue to point that out. But, like, saying things like that is not going to make you any friends, my dude. Be nice. It's free. There are a lot of lines to take here. I think most of them start with an attack with the prince. I think I like having Redain in play. Mikey's great. He likes life. Okay. This is basically swing team except for Mikey. Sure. And big. are better blocks for them. I'm gonna take out both of these though, so that's kind of fine. Why did the vampire have summoning sickness? Because I didn't control it from the beginning of the turn. They had taken it with a mind flayer, and I killed the mind flayer and got it back. More or less puts him dead on board, right? Yeah, certainly does now. Paul Blart, Mall Cop, Paul Blart, Mall Cop. We got there. The mistakes were made on both sides, and that's okay. Magic's a complicated game. I'm gonna make mistakes. Opponents are gonna make mistakes. Everybody's gonna make mistakes. Don't need to make anybody feel bad about that. Well, I hope soon you are cool as a cucumber. All right, let's do the thing. They're doing server maintenance? Okay, that makes sense while we're having some Stream Raiders hiccups. Not even Stream Raiders can be perfect all the time. You're implying that you're aware of what day it is. This is not a skill I possess. Hello, Jared. Skip through the weekend day. Luris is kind of a must kill, which I appreciate, but hitting it on 5's super cute too. I guess that means we're on Mikey here. Because I can get him back with Luris too. Look. Hey, Mikey was deemed worthy. Good job, Mikey. It's kind of cute to do like reinforcements this turn, connect, next turn locks it on them. I can dig that. This is not the best heroic reinforcements we've ever had, but I can utilize the tokens next turn. It's not always lethal. To be fair, But even a land's really good here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, a land would be real good for us. Crystalline Giant may just kill us. Let's, like, accept that and be aware of it. I don't think I want to play that out as a 4-1. I'm losing value if I just play the Loxodon. That's probably how we win, though. I wouldn't have enough to play Lurrus into that, right? Yeah. I'm probably overvaluing Lurrus in early hands, and I'm just supposed to, like, flop it out on the table and see what happens. Approach me, brethren. Go on, then. My cards suck, so you're welcome to draw them and play them against me. There are a lot of options with this deck, which is interesting, even for an aggressively slanted deck, that there's like a lot of things you could do, a lot of different directions you could take. Like, this is a good cube. There's always the question of how good is cube. I'm playing this out so we can threaten lethal next turn. They're probably not expecting us to be able to kill them. Now, they may have a Wrath, but we can recover from that too. Okay, or they could have a time warp. I hope they don't do it again. Definitely don't want people doing the time warp again. Not really a yawning one, right? I guess this kind of encapsulates what I'm getting at, which is it's neat watching you play Magic. I think so, Skull Knight. I don't see why I wouldn't. They're doing the time warp again. Yeah, there's a lot of decisions to be made in aggro decks. At no point would Mana Tithe have done anything. That concept wasn't really in the game when Time Warp was printed, Sayonara. It's a very old card. They always had this to pay for it. It doesn't mean they're always going to have it. I could see Mana Tithe being something we bring in potentially. They probably had, God, I don't even remember the name. Time Walk. Time Warp was from Tempest. I remember playing with it in Tempest. Yeah, the concept of remove from the game existed, but I don't think there were any cards that you cast and then removed from the game. Like, I can see a position where I would have wanted a lot of these sideboard cards, but I don't think I actually want to swap them here. Go get them. All right, Talia's looking pretty nice. I don't think we even mess around. One, two, three, four, potentially. Wasn't quite ready for a 1-3. Bless you for saying that Apison Restored is relatively new. I drafted Tempest in paper, y'all. That's why I remember Time Warp. I opened the card. Don't know how I'm getting through that Predator. May not be getting through that Predator. Well, I suppose more disposable income changes what you feel comfortable purchasing and doing too, right? Like, that's just part of it. I assume we're just going to get time warp to Oblivion here. My son's made-up card game consists of characters based on famous YouTubers, but I can talk him into making a Semulin card. What do you want your ability to be? What sort of choices do I have? What sort of abilities do the other ones have? Have elemental powers like Pokemon. I'm not terribly familiar with Pokemon. But let's say I have the power of persuasion and let him interpret that however he will. I'm a teacher card. Maybe that's it. I'm a teacher card and I make the other cards better. That's a pretty groovy song. It was nice to get the monument going for once at least. You don't have to remove a card, right? Yeah, you don't have to remove a card. I don't know why they're exiling their own stuff. That must be it. There's been a lot of like 5-mana cards that just say win the game. Alright, here you go, you did it. But this is one of the reasons I don't particularly care for Cube. Did they not cast it? Oh, it's only instant. Okay. I was pretty sure that killed me, but it didn't. Okay. Bye-bye. Welcome to Cube. I don't like decks that are that linear. I like having to kind of work with what you get tossed at you. Cube does still very much scratch the deck building itch. Yeah, they seemed interested in exiling their own library, but maybe there's a reason for that too. We didn't see their whole deck. We even got Toblerone and somehow didn't end up in mono red. Understand that. Well, I mean, the Cube, you can do whatever you want with Cube. Like, Cube as a format for people designing them. Like, Garbage Andy was telling me that he made a cube called the Trash Cube, which is all of the worst cards that from draft based on 17 lands data. Like, that sounds like a great cube. But the cubes that we generally end up seeing on Arena are just, here's the best constructed cards over the last, 7 years or whatever, plus 12 cards from Mark Rosewater's pocket. Like this. There's some argument, okay, it's content tithe. Let's do it. I didn't really want the prince anyway. Yeah, I'd play the heck out of Andy's cube. He happens to do it on a time where I'm not streaming. Otherwise, I'd be drafting it with him literally right now. That's one lander. Have a good card. A couple plays. But I think our odds are actually relatively bad here. Let's know what they are instead of guessing. Oh, we're still 71% to hit it. If we don't have to discard the hand size, that means we just keep it. I wouldn't keep this on the play. It's an odd way of saying you're incredibly skilled, Travis. I mean, how do you get punished for playing to 70% odds? Like, do the math, figure out what your odds are, and then make your decision. All right, I'll take it, Scott. Evading punishment is a skill. Double spelling is the best way to get around counter spells, so we'll do that. That's how aspirant works these days, my dude. Why would you play it pre-combat? It doesn't do anything. Triggers on your instep, did you know? Yeah, it got nerfed pretty hard. It's still a good card. Like, you can nerf it and it's still quite good. 1 extra damage. This kills him in 3 hits. This would take 4. Also, I can use the Alcea to protect it, so they need to race me and do their nonsense, right? Yeah, I'm teasing Scott. They nerfed it for alchemy, and the alchemy version's in here. Like, our deck's an aggro deck, and it's looking to close out the game as quick as possible. So if I equip the Dauntless Bodyguard, I put the clock at a multiple of 4, which is pretty cool. I guess it would still be at a multiple of 3. This is just better. And now they can't kill the Bodyguard without killing the Alcea. So their only choice is to race me, and their deck shouldn't be as good at racing as mine is. Like, we're pretty good at racing. Who's the champion of chump blocking? What's up, Rach? I've got to stop falling for that one. I should have put the protection on the dancing sword. It's just bad. Well, the shelter would have been, was in the same spot that we had the Alcea in, right? I mean, it has been a good game so far. I'll give them that. I don't think it's over yet. But, like, this absolutely should have been on the other one. I didn't side it out for Alcea. I just took it out of the deck for Alcea. It wouldn't, well, yeah, it would have killed him there. We could have done Pro Blue.
You've already lost. You just don't know it yet.
You sure about that, Jace?
This will come in handy.
Rixie Herbertses.
Stream Raiders. Alright, we got there. Nice. And it's funny how even an aggro cube draft can take a while. A victory for Upfish indeed. Righto.
When people start screaming, I know I'm on track. Stop, drop, and roll won't help you, buddy. It's over when I say it's over.
Do we want Mikey or the Shepherd? I think I like Mikey a lot better with 2 counters than 1. It's pretty good to know there, DJ. This is why I don't eat mayonnaise. Well, that got a little awkward. I don't know why the taste of mayo just never worked for me. I've never cared for it. But the plan here is to leave up Valorous stance if they go for the Mikey and let me get some use out of the card. And if they don't do anything, we can use Cabrilla Takedown. Like here, they're going to do this. We can respond to that with Cabrilla Takedown on that. And I think be pretty happy.
This'll be easy.
Timeless Witness. Okay, so that's not Eternal Witness. What the heck? This was not an M and Cat. Where the heck did that card come from? Okay, I saw them play it and was like, oh, that's Eternal Witness, and didn't bother going any further. The art looks like so much like Eternal Witness, it didn't even trigger for me. I was like, oh, no, it's obviously Eternal Witness. Well, in reality, we're all just kind of bodyguards for pets, right? Eternal or Witness. I like that.
I am out of here.
Modern Horizons 2 was an unset that they scrapped. I believe you. I probably should have done it into turn. Avatar, good call. There was no reason to launch into that decision until we saw what they were going to draw and play. What's always lethal? Chat, fair enough. Can I get an exclamation point lethal, please? Thank you, Andy. That's a good one. I wish to gaze upon it again. It's an older meme, sir. That checks out. I remember when Arena was an esport and you made that meme. And I was playing in Twitch Rivals. I tried to explain to my dad that I was an athlete, and he didn't really seem willing to, he seemed like he understood the words that I was saying, but was unwilling to accept the reality where that could be true. I don't think we have any changes here. I was going to say he didn't understand, but he totally understood. He was just like, no, I understand you, I don't believe you. It's an incredibly slow hand for this deck. We're just kind of arguing about, what does this word mean versus that other word. It's like, just words, man. My tea has steeped. I'm trying to decide if we want to Fateful Absence that thing. Because I kind of think I do. I know it can't block. That's not why I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now because it doesn't matter. Remember Reckless Stormseeker? I remember. They're gonna race me. I like that plan. Yeah, that was the other thought with the Sword Tooth, was they can't cheat out any more lands. Yeah, I often mismatch my lands for draft. I don't usually for constructed, or constructed and draft had a baby, aka cube. The red source would be pretty swell now. Which was not a red source. We're on red source or bust, more or less. The Siege Gang should kill me, frankly. I can't imagine many board states where Siege Gang Commander isn't lethal. Basically 1 point off from just killing them, right? Can they not? They had enough for 2 shots, didn't they? Or did they not? They aimed one at the Alseid, and it's 2. There was a 2 mana, and they had 2 more left. 2 plus 2 is 4, right? They could have done it in response to me popping the Alseid. Maybe I miscounted. I thought they were going to kill the Alseid in response. Because they've got 6 mana, they totally could have done it. They just didn't. So what did I miss? This is 2 to activate, and it deals 2 damage. They have 6 mana. Ah, duh. Okay. Sorry, I'm not used to looking at the different colors of mana. I see your point now. Well, then it kind of doesn't matter, actually, right? Because they just do it in response anyway. So I think I accidentally made the right line. I just probably should have done it for pro black or something. Right? Because if I target the prince, they're just going to kill it anyway. So I think the right line was actually to sacrifice it in response and give her protection from black for a removal spell. Because like they used it to kill the Charming Prince anyway, which they just would have done in response to me activating it. So I think it was like, I think I'm supposed to target Redain. I think I'm just supposed to choose another color other than red. Does that make sense? Because like we're not protecting the Charming Prince with the Alseid. They killed it anyway. If they wanted it dead, they would have done it in response to the target. I get what you're saying now, and I honestly didn't notice that they didn't have enough mana. So I assumed it honestly didn't matter which one I targeted, but after thinking through it, I think the right call was targeting her. Yeah, okay. So did I accidentally make the best play? Actually, let's just say Pro Red stopped them from attacking with a creature, and that was my plan all along. Red source! Not a red source. My kingdom for a red source. I'm pretty sure we're dead here. No, the goblin didn't kill any red sources. It didn't kill a first red source. This is one of my favorite arts for the lands ever. But it is probably more member berries than anything else. It's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're super dead. They've got a great hinge in there. This is kind of just big stuff trying to kill me. Is there anything that's better or worse against big stuff? Not super impressed with the prince. Let's give it a go. That's what I was thinking, Rach. The indestructible instant is not worthwhile, I don't think. However, the kill target creature they're playing seems pretty good. That's the side of it we want. Or did you mean shelter, Kaiju? I don't want to play Mikey for 0, thank you. Ah, okay. I don't think I want that one main deck. I think it's the worst of the anthems we got. Because it's kind of competing with the same spot as Mikey, which I can recur with Luris. Heroic Reinforcements, which has the bonus of having haste. And we had one more, the Adversary, which is just basically Kicker. But I think it's just a least flexible Wrath. Not least flexible Wrath. Not least flexible Wrath. You probably understand what I'm trying to say. A less flexible Anthem. Oh, I could have done him for more. I'm bad and I feel bad. Not trying to try to bluff a mana tithe against them. They don't even know that I'm playing it, much less that I sided it in. Yeah, that part I didn't particularly enjoy. You think they're going to think twice about casting the Great Henge if I have a white up? I wouldn't in their position. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sarcasm is really hard to detect via text. You can use a kappa, a sim kappa, if you will, at the end, and that lets people know that you're joking.
You want to play with fire, huh?
If you can't sense the sarcasm, it can come across as mean-spirited.
Ew, don't you hate that burnt hair smell?
That is not something I want to do. I wanted those to trigger a little differently. But then they didn't. Is it? Fair enough. I still wanted it to do the other thing. The fact that it can't does not detract from my desire. Poe's Law? What's Poe's Law? I think I used to know that, and now I don't. Is it anything that is said on the internet is sarcastic? Raven will someday creep you out. I mean, that happens. Anything sarcastic said on the internet can be taken seriously unless sarcasm is explicitly indicated. That's a good law. A really good law. Why do you cost the cost that you cost? Because I just want to activate it and kill them, but I can't. All right, so what happens if we swing team here? They want to double block this, eat one of those, and go to 3, and I like that because that puts them dead to that. So I think that's the track we take. They could take 1 and lose a creature, which is fine too. Because reinforcements should be pretty close to lethal, and a land should be pretty close to lethal. It kind of sucks that they're gaining 2 every turn off of that stupid hinge. I mean, Poe was apparently right. It's really difficult to tell the intent behind words.
This is...
Okay, now we're just dead. We tried. When the green deck starts resolving Hornet Queens, it's game over, man. He's really a visionary, Andy. Think about it. You attacking? That's mighty bold. Four, 5, 6 blockers. So they could actually block everything I've got if I went at them with the heroic reinforcements. But we're super dead. I mean, I hear people complain about Eldraine, but like, I played through Urza's Saga. You kids today! You don't know how bad we had it! We had to walk uphill both ways, and they still had Yawgmoth's Will! You can give that trample, right? Yeah. And they're like something in the middle of the Mexican flag? So I would presume Italy? Yeah, it's a coat of arms. No, that's a Twinkie, Scott. Very different than a flag. All right, so we learned what we wanted to learn. White aggro is forcible in this cube. We can do that. The last thing I want to do before we go to a cube tournament is kind of figure out what happens if I just try to draft something stupid. But buckle in, we're going to go stupid. And of course, a big thank you to my patrons. Paul, Punk, Hero, Joe, Jesse, Jacob, Scott, Basti, Rich, Michael, Brandon, and John. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.